Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with SMCI Analysis and Assessment. Some people ask me to make a video on SMCI Future Outlook. And we all know that SMCI has been under pressure, right? And if you talk about me, I also have love and hate relationship with SMCI. I'm still holding SMCI stocks. So I did this analysis that I wanted to share it with you. I'm more than positive it will be helpful if you are interested in SMCI stock. Now, let's get started. On Friday, you see that SMCI closed positive. It went up 3.21%. But in terms of volatility, there was no clear direction on Friday. And if you remember, SMCI has been the highest volatile stock in S&P in 2024. So you cannot take away the volatility from SMCI. But as a good trader, even if we see the volatility in SMCI, we should find some good buying and selling opportunity when SMCI does the big fluctuation. Because if you trade on the right levels at the right time, SMCI can give you big money. But if you make a transaction on SMCI at the wrong levels or the wrong time, it can erase your money from your account very quickly, in just matter of days. So as of this point, SMCI is trading around 38, and if you notice, SMCI touched 62 or 63 just few weeks ago after the earnings. And I made a video on SMCI after the earnings, and I gave you my assessment at that time that SMCI financial outlook and the earnings report is good, and SMCI would surge anytime soon. And exactly that happened few weeks ago. And at this point, SMCI is under pressure. It went down about 50 to 60% in just few weeks. But there is no specific reason regarding SMCI that brought it down. I mean, there is no SMCI financial or fundamental that caused the SMCI to go down. It's a macroeconomic picture. I mean, the tariffs and those export restriction on China and Taiwan. So those kind of things are impacting SMCI. Let me share with you what I think could be good levels to buy and sell for SMCI. In this table, I'm showing you the summary of the financial data for SMCI for last 7 or 8 quarters. And I also adjusted the EPS actuals after they reported in 10Q on February the 25th last month. So this number and this number they adjusted. And the next quarter, the earning projection is 0.76. So one thing you can notice that after the reported 10Q, the earnings is 0.54 for the previous quarter. So the earnings went down if you compare one quarter prior. But the next quarter, they're expecting a better earnings per share compared with the previous quarter. And that's a good sign. In terms of the revenue, in the next quarter, they're projecting lower than the previous quarter, but not a big difference. So, in terms of revenue and EPS, I do not see any problem in the next quarter when we talk about the projection. The only thing we should worry about is the profit margin and the gross margin percentage for next quarter because the margin percentage would continue to go down for SMCI because they make customized solutions for their customers. So whenever you make customized product, your profit margin goes down with the passage of time unless you implement some cost control measures in the future. And if you talk about more quarters in the future, you see that after next quarter, the projection is 0.64, 0.64 after that, and Q4 2025 is 0.74. So next 4 quarters, the earnings are projected to not go below zero point 0.6, and that's a good sign. So with that being said, I created this table and did some price projections for SMCI. So you see this table, I put the EPS actual, EPS projected, and the closing price for SMCI on the earnings date. And in this table, I put together the EPS actual, EPS projected, and the closing price for SMCI for last 7 or 8 quarters. And the closing price I captured is the closing price on the earnings date, because that would help me to make price projection for SMCI. I also have another table in this file that gives me the earnings surprise for last 7 or 8 quarters, also next 4 quarters of earning projection. So if I use this data, I came up with a forward P for SMCI. As of this point, SMCI forward P is about 14.82. If you compare with the historical forward P for SMCI, you can notice that SMCI is underpriced at this point. For example, if I take an average of last 6 quarters of forward P, that gives 17.36. So this also tells that SMCI has a good potential to go further up once the political situation and the tariff situation gets under control. So using this forward P table, I came up with the minimum, median, average, and the maximum forward P for last 6 or 7 quarters. And I also created the min, average, and the maximum table for the earnings surprise percentage. So that helped me calculate SMCI price projection. That should be good until the next quarter. So based on my understanding and my calculation, SMCI should not go below 24.6 before the next earnings. The average price is 45.54 and the maximum is 74.80. So this tells that if you buy SMCI below 45, that's a good buy. I'm not saying that SMCI will not go below 45, but I'm trying to say SMCI may go below 30 or something, right? But eventually it should bounce back before the next earning. So let's suppose you buy SMCI at 35, right? And if you hold it for some time, you will see that SMCI will go back to 60s level in next few weeks. And that's my understanding. So as of this point, I'm still holding a big amount of SMCI stocks. Some I bought around 55, some I bought around 58, and some I bought around 49. So my break even is around 53 or 54. But I'm not panicking. I'm still holding SMCI stock because I'm positive that SMCI should bounce back because they already filed their 10K, so no confusion there. And also the financial outlook for next few quarters is also okay. And in terms of forward P, you see that SMCI is underpriced compared with the historical forward PE. Okay, so these all 2 or 3 factors are telling me that it's just a matter of time SMCI has to come back. So that's all about my analysis. I just wanted to share it with you. I hope this analysis can be helpful for you in making a right decision when you buy or sell SMCI. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.